Good morning to everybody. How you doing? Hope all's well. Keep up the beautiful work. Today is Tuesday, Parashat Vayeshev, and we're going to have a great day. Bezat Hashem, the sun will come out. Got 1 degree warmer, thank goodness. Baruch Hashem. I don't know why from the old country they had to come to New York. Why couldn't they go to Curacao? People did go there. But Hashem has a plan for everyone. Just like we knew he had a plan with the story of Yaakov leaving behind the jug of oil where his children found it thousands of years later in the story of Hanukkah. That's why, by the way, we have this is the most famous question of Hanukkah. It's known as the Bet Yosef's question. I know when people hear Bet Yosef, they start thinking of barbecue, lahmeh, surprise steak, oyster steak, but Bet Yosef is not a kind of meat. Bet Yosef is the Chacham, Rabbi Yosef Cairo, and I was lucky to be by his kever a week ago. Thank you, Hashem. The Bat Ayin is also buried right near him, and it happened to be the Bat Ayin's yard site. There were thousands of people there. It was magnificent. Yishtabach Shemo Laad. May their merits be a blessing for all of us. So Maran Shulchan Aruch in the Sefer Bet Yosef, which is on the tour, he asked a famous question. So it became known as the Beis Yosef's Kasha, the question of the Bet Yosef. And that is every holiday has its question. And the question of Hanukkah is the most famous question. If the candle had the oil was enough to last 1 day, so then why would the holiday be 8 days? Because the first day is a given. And the answer is it should only be a holiday of 7 days because of that was the miracle. And the end, there's, like I said, there's a sefer called Ner Leme'ah. There's over 100 answers to this question. But the answer we were just discussing is to show you that Hashem reserved that bottle of oil and he orchestrates the world. So the finding of the actual oil was the actual miracle as well. And therefore, it's an 8 day holiday. Now, why don't we do 9 day holiday outside of Israel? Just like on Pesach, we have an extra day. On Sukkot, we have an extra day. And Shavuot, we have an extra day. And the answer is as well, is because Hanukkah is midirabanan. And since it's midirabanan, we don't have an extra day of also Purim is the same thing. It was after we got the Torah, and we only keep an extra day on those holidays because we're not sure which day was Rosh Chodesh. Therefore, to be safe, we kept an extra day. But over here, we say Safek de Rabbanan Lakel when it's a rabbinic item and we're not sure. So we are lenient. And even though we are lenient, however, there are still 8 days of saying full Hallel. It's the only holiday. First of all, it's only Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh is inside. It's Shabbat and Sunday. So we're already announcing Rosh Chodesh this week. Be'ezrat Hashem, as we mentioned many times, some people have the custom to go hold the Torah and maybe shake the Torah while the rabbi is making the beracha for the new month, the announcement, Shabbos Mavarchin, Shabbat Mevarachin. And there are rabbis in the community that he has in the synagogue, people of those sect that they hold and shake the Torah, but he gets up and he says, if you're not going to learn 20 hours a week, then don't come up here and shake the Torah. The Torah, you got to shake yourself out of bed to go to a class to learn Torah. Don't just take the easy way out and thinking if you shake the Torah, you're good to go. So, of course, each to their own, and we love everybody and we don't judge, Baruch Hashem. But anyway, we're already announcing, and it's the only Rosh Chodesh of the entire year that we say full Hallel because it falls out on Chanukah. And since we have for 8 days of saying full Hallel with a beracha, so it happens to be that on Rosh Chodesh we also say full Hallel, but the other 11 of the year, it's not really 11, it's really 10 because Rosh Hashanah, we don't say Hallel as well, and we don't say Hallel Purim, which we'll talk about then. Be'ezrat Hashem will be in Yerushalayim, Habnuyah by then, Be'ezrat Hashem. But speaking about the beracha of Hallel. Women do not say the beracha of Hallel of any holiday in the morning or during the day. The only Hallel that a woman makes a beracha on is the first 2 nights of Pesach outside of Israel, and in Israel, if they're keeping one day, then one night of Pesach. Otherwise, women do not make the beracha on Hallel ever. So Chanukah, even though we make full Hallel with a beracha, women do not make the beracha. They could say the full Hallel, no problem. It's Tehillim, but we know the halacha is, according to Sephardic Jewry, that women do not make a beracha on mitzvah taseh shazman gerama when they're exempt. They don't make the beracha. Lulav no beracha, sukkah no beracha, but they, and also on the Hallel, they do not say the beracha. However, when it comes to the actual lighting of the menorah, women can light the menorah and women can make the beracha. As a matter of fact, it's recommended if they're lighting the menorah to make the beracha, because we know, even though it's a positive commandment, even though it's not from the Torah, but it's from the Chachamim, and the Chachamim instituted everything like ke'en deoraita, so therefore you would think women do not light the menorah. However, as the Gemara says, there are 3 things that women are obligated in, even though you might think they should be exempt. One of them is Hanukkah. One is Purim, hearing the Megillah. Women are just as obligated in hearing the Megillah as a man is. And they could even make the beracha if they're reading to themselves, which we'll talk about another time. Like we said, we'll be in Yerushalayim by then, Bezat Hashem. And the 4 cups of wine the night of Pesach. Also, women are obligated because since they might be with his family, he might be with her family. So we need 4 cups of wine to keep ourselves sane to get through the night. Just kidding. Why are these 3 mitzvot that women are obligated? We know technically a woman is not obligated in sukkah. A woman is not obligated in lulav or etrog or even shofar. You tell that to a woman, they won't want to hear it, but that's the halacha. They can hear it, ahlan usalan. A woman that won't miss the shofar for anything. So why are we saying they're obligated in the story of Hanukkah, lighting the menorah, right? Hallel, no, but menorah, yes. And the answer is, as the Gemara says, Af hen hayu be'oto hanes. They were in the miracle of Hanukkah. The simple understanding is, in Purim, they were also in part of it because Haman wanted to kill Taf Vinashim as well. He wanted to kill women. So they celebrate just like the men. And in Pesach, they all came out of Egypt, so they also have the 4 cups of wine. And in Chanukah, the Romans didn't let the women do the Greeks did not let the women do mitzvot as well. So they were also part of it, and therefore they are obligated in the menorah and the Megillah and the 4 cups of wine. But Tosafot brings another opinion that what does it mean that they were part of the miracle? They were instrumental of making the miracle happen. In the story of Purim, you have Queen Esther. In the story of Pesach, you have Yocheved, Miriam, Elisheva, and all the women that would not let their husbands divorce them and kept the nation going. And they were the ones who got us freed out of Mitzrayim. And they didn't kill the babies like Paro said. So since they were instrumental in the actual miracle, so therefore they are obligated in the mitzvah. But the same thing goes for Hanukkah. We know Matitya Kohen had a few children, but one was named Yehuda HaMaccabi. And as we always said, I think we said it yesterday, but just a quick repeat, that if you do get your amazing savings coloring book with the Maccabee that it looks like Superman, and he has the curl on his head hair, and he has the muscles, 6 foot tall and full of muscles, and he looks like a beast. That's not what the Maccabees look like. The Maccabees were Kolel fellows who were steiging away, and they were weak and scrawny. But when you fight for Hashem, Maccabee is not a team in Israel. It's not an Olympic way of acting. Maccabee stands for Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Hashem. Who is like you, Hashem? They fought for the sake of God. When you fight 1,000,000% for the sake of God, whenever you do something for the sake of God, you will be successful. And whether it's being in a synagogue, on a committee, whether it's being in a school, whether it's an organization, whatever it might be, you do things for the sake of God, you will not lose out. And the Maccabees, Baruch Hashem, there was Yehuda Maccabee, and he had a sister, Yehudit. They were proud to be Jewish, and therefore he named his daughter Yehudit and his son Yehuda. And Yehudit was instrumental because she saw one of the head generals going to the trying to run away. She lured him into his house and she fed him dairy. And while he was taking a nap, all of a sudden she decided to take a sword and the ones hanging on the wall for the samurai item, and she made Kriyat Yamsuf on his neck. Do not try that at home. But since she killed the general, so it was the beginning of the downfall, and therefore, since she was instrumental, that's why we are obligated. Women are obligated in the story of Hanukkah as well. And also because she fed him dairy, you're supposed to have dairy on Hanukkah as well, as we do. They have the caramel sufganiyot, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Like I told you, outside of every donut store is an Ozempic stand. Sign up for all those who have to have. They, for some reason, they have the Hanukkah miracle as well. They were supposed to have one, and they ended up having 8, just like the candle was one, and it ended up turning into 8. How you doing? But long story short, there is an inyan of having dairy, as we said, because of the story of Yehudit Hamakabiyah. And anyway, so since women are obligated, since women are part of it, they're obligated now. Technically, this is not what we do, but technically, the time you're supposed to light the menorah is 20 minutes after sunset. Nowadays, sunset is about 4:30, let's say. That means 4:50 is the opportune time for lighting the menorah. Now, you might have an Ashkenaz across the street from your house. Not that we discriminate, and he could even be a rabbi. Ashkenaz light sunset itself, many of them, and Sephardic light 20 minutes after. So someone might see a rabbi lighting across the street, and what do you mean? The rabbi of our shul said to do it at this time, and look, the rabbi across the street is lighting. I could light. We don't. We light 20 minutes after sunset. And we'll talk about Bezat Hashem, what do you do on a Friday, etc. So if 20 minutes after sunset is about 10 minutes to 5, if that's the opportune time to light, technically we light then and that's all. And even if the husband's in work and the kids might be on the bus back to school singing 1,000,000 bottles of beer on the wall, and the mother should light technically at that time because that's the best time to light, and she's obligated to light just like the husband is, so she could light for the household. However, our rabbis of today say because there's competition with other holidays out there that they might be getting presents and etc. You want to give the children a memory of Hanukkah. Some people make a big deal. They love to. You always have to have the guy who's a killjoy. Then what is this presents? We never did presents on Hanukkah. All of a sudden he's chinching out. I'm sure when he was a kid, he was on the receiving end. There was accounts receivable instead of accounts payable. So he was receiving. But once he got older, he took it from the goyim who does presents. Rohi, you're allowed to give your kid the present all year long, 24/7. You want the kids to remember Hanukkah. You don't want to have any competition with any other holiday, like that video of that rabbi going around when he was a little kid. He went to go sit. His mother was in Bloomingdale's. She left a little kid roaming around the mall by his own. It was the 80s, so it wasn't the end of the world. There were only a few crazy people, not a lot of crazy people. He was wearing his Yankees hat and he had a Yetzirah. Should I stay or should I go? Should I go sit on the guy's lap? Everyone's walking away with a present, a car, and heke, he's just sitting there watching his mother eating a Manischewitz macaroon and watching his mother in Bloomies. He decided he's going to go sit on Haddad's lap. You might see Haddad putting on tefillin with a Chabad. That picture goes around all year long as well. Are you Jewish? I sure am. No, did you put on tefillin? So he puts on tefillin, Baruch Hashem. So the kid, by the way, there's a very funny video, I'm sure you got it, that they had the Kinus HaMeshulachim. All the Chabad rabbis from all over the world, it's about 5,000 of them. God should watch them and protect them. They took a big picture in front of 770. And you see a guy saying, I forgot to put on tefillin today. You see 5,000 rabbis chasing after them. But God bless what Chabad does. We could talk about them for the next 20 years, how good they are. God bless and good things. But long story short, this little kid goes to sit on Haddad's lap, and Haddad asks him, what do you want for the holiday? And he says, I don't believe in your holiday. I just want a free car. I'm Jewish. So Haddad tells him, and you think I'm a guy? Hello? He ended up giving him a whole jahash bag of cars. Give these to your friends in yeshiva. How you doing? But anyway, we don't want to have, we're better to wait at least the first few days of the holiday. Let it be a moment that the kids remember. Do the menorah a little later. Wait for the husband to come home and let the kids come home. Even put on some music in the house. Make the feeling a feeling that they'll remember forever. You don't want the kid to come home and run straight to the Insta and run straight to Fortnite and the menorah is already lit, right? We want to implement in their heart, implant in their heart the feeling of loving Hanukkah forever and ever. We'll stop here for today. God bless you all. Keep up the excellent work. May we see and hear only Besorot Tobot for all of Am Yisrael. Take care, and we hope Mashiach will come. As Batya says, Mashiach stands for Madlikin Shemonat Yemei Hanukkah. Hanukkah can bring the Mashiach closer. BTW, Batya used to like to eat machshi, and they asked him, why do you like machshi? He says it's the same letters as Mashiach. How you doing? But anyway, may we see the Mashiach very close and see the good things for Am Yisrael. Have the best day. Take care. All the best. Bye.